Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Risk of Rain 2, where today I get to play my favorite class and I'm very excited to present to you all the Loader. She is a total monster, look at her. So, one of the things I love about the Loader is this scrap barrier. Striking enemies with your gauntlets, which is to say the left click, the right click, and the shift ability, grants a temporary barrier. This is just temporary health that goes on top of our normal health. It is not exactly true, but in most situations it's pretty close to true, that the only way to lose as the Loader is to stop punching stuff. It's very much a kind of strategy that I enjoy here. I should say, for the loadout, we are using the alternate versions of the secondary and the utility skill, and we'll talk about exactly how those work once we're in here punching stuff. So you might be thinking, boy, melee characters. Why would you be a character who does not have a gun? Well, first of all, none of the characters who have guns have sick grappling hooks, so that, that counts for something. That ain't nothing where I'm from. So, we of course have Great Big Punch, we have our grappling hook, and the version of the grappling hook we're using does damage to enemies, stuns enemies, and instead of pulling us to large enemies, instead of pulling us to small enemies, it pulls small enemies to us. The default version of the grappling hook just pulls you to whatever. And then for a utility skill, for our movement ability, we have this super dash punch thing. This. So you can see it hits the first thing you make contact with super hard, like 2100% damage. And then it shoots sort of a cone of lightning behind it that does a lot less damage, but still quite a considerable amount. Hey you, come here. I missed. That is sort of our primary cannon, so to speak. You can see the damage from the grappling hook is sufficient to one-shot wisps, at least at the early parts of the game. We are definitely challenging the mountain. I have no fear of the mountain. And also, it goes real fast. And the grappling hook lets us go real fast. It's all very compelling. I feel 100% comfortable taking on a challenge of the mountain with no items, with the Loader. That does not pose any threat to us at all, I'm telling you. Come here, you. Beetle Queens, huh? So, our ultimate ability, which, interestingly, with this character, definitely doesn't feel like it's a very important part of the kit, is this drone that we've shot out here. So you can see it just kind of hovers around and shocks people. And it does a reasonable amount of damage. It lasts for quite a long time, and it will deliver an awful lot of ticks during that period. It also has a little bit of utility in that you can grappling hook to it. It serves as a target for your grappling hook, and you can just kind of hang it up in the air. We're doing an okay job here, I think. So remember the cone of lightning. We want to try to get our dash punches in such a way that the cone will arc up and hit some wisps up in the air. Yeah, like that. And then we can set the drone out, and the drone will do a reasonable number on them as well. So we have a lot of options. We're pretty good at dealing with wisps, actually. This is not an item that I like very much for us, because we will not be doing almost any of our damage while sprinting. I mean, obviously, we will be sprinting, but this feels like a pretty bad one. Oh, didn't quite make it. So you might have noticed the grappling hook does not go on cooldown if you fire it and it doesn't make contact with anything. Which means that we can be pretty aggressive with using it to hit enemies, because if we swing and a miss, we just get to swing again. Listen, I'm not trying to tell you that the Loader is objectively the best class in the game, but I am trying to tell you that I think the Loader might be the best class in the game, for what that's worth. Obviously, there are reasons that you might doubt my expertise. I can see that. Let's get this guy established. Now here you have one of the few things that's really dangerous in the early going is a fire elite, because obviously fire. Ow. But as you can see there's not a lot that you can't solve. Not a lot of problems you can't solve with the dash punch. We are immune to fall damage, remember? That's gonna be important. in the future, because real good at just hurling yourself an incredible distance accidentally with this character. Nobody moves quite as effectively, quite as accidentally as the loader. Pretty sure there's nothing up there. Now, the version of the charge punch that we're not using doesn't fire as quickly. Like, you have to charge it up more. If you charge it to the maximum, it does quite a bit more damage than the one we're using, and it does that damage to everything in the way. Like, it'll just charge straight through enemies, and it'll deal 2,700% damage to everything you can hit with it, which is pretty significant, obviously. I like this version, first of all, because it fires more quickly, so you can use it more easily for traversal, and also you can suddenly punch things in combat. With the other one, I feel like you have to plan a little bit more, which you might have noticed, not my strongest suit. And then, on top of that, obviously, I like to be able to change directions suddenly, because I do still sometimes, even though I have several hours of loader, do still sometimes fling myself way further than I intended to, and this punch is much more effective at that, on account of not having to charge up while you're flying off into the stratosphere. So I kind of think we're on some pretty weak items here, although I do love the double goat hoof. It'd be foolish to be upset about that. Here we go. Here's some money. All right. Has that? Yeah, that's got us a chest or two. Okay, that one's open. This one's not. There we go. So a lot of the time you can just use the charge punch to massacre the random enemies that you run past without really even having to slow down. And obviously the grappling hook is a pretty good way of dealing with lone flyers. So in addition to grappling hook nonsense, you're just way better at running combat than a lot of the other classes are. Obviously, not all of them, but boy, that's moving in a way that's a little ominous. Can I activate this? How expensive is this going to be? 99? Alright, well, I guess we're taking a ukulele. Hey you, come over here. I need money. Pretty good. It's pretty good to be able to just one-shot an elite. Okay, well, we're going to need a little bit more cash before we can interact with that. I mean, we could just do the teleporter event real fast, then figure it out from there. Yeah, sure. Okay, well, that guy's dealt with. So, much like the mercenary, the loader can stay in the air for a considerable amount of time by just landing punches and doing the little float thing. So I like to try to, like, do my dash punch up an enemy where possible, and then do this thing to prevent the ground enemies from distracting me while I'm working. As you can see, the job gets done. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I'm happy about the number of wisps we're facing here, but we have the tools. It's not as dire as if, say, if we got attacked by that many imps as, well, as the character we haven't seen yet, which can be kind of an annoying thing depending on your equipment. Or even with the mercenary, you know, if you just like whiff a dash. Now, obviously, the solution to that, the recommended solution to that, is going to be don't miss your dash. But it's nice to have a strategy that has a little bit of slack in it, a little bit of room for you to make some totally normal human mistakes. Come on, cool stuff. That's okay. Trying to position him to hit as many of the guys with the secondary cone there as possible. Okay, our old friend, the Royal Capacitor. Honestly, pretty okay with that. I think that's a fine find. Now we got a question. Do we want to spend time running around here, or do we want to try to get lucky with the Prion accumulator? I was gonna just go straight through the portal, but we can look around a little bit now that we have an equipment item. I don't think we're in anywhere near as much of a hurry. Well, that's embarrassing. Ah, there was a shrine in the mountain. Think about all those mountains we could have had. Sticky bombs. Oh, I do like the brooch. Show me something random now. Ooh, crowbar. Crowbar's very solid. Because we open combat with so many enemies with a 2100% damage punch, the crowbar really adds a little bit of extra mustard to that. It's just so much fun to do everything with this character. It's so much fun to just move around the environment. Got him. There will be no escape. Not today. Okay, we wouldn't have gotten the proper biome for the thing anyway. So this here is a healing shrine. I don't think we've ever actually interacted with one of these, but if you put some money into it, it creates a little area around the base of the thing that constantly pulses healing, which is fine. Occasionally, it's a thing worth doing. Here, for example, if you did that, it would make it a lot easier to repeatedly use the blood shrine. So I guess there's some. I don't know if the money actually works out for that. Like, is the amount of money you make by using the blood shrine going to pay off the amount of money you would have to spend on the health shrine? I honestly don't know. Well, there's some potential here. Yeah, we got a couple of them. Yeah, just like the audio, the big clanky punches, and everything about the loader is what I want out of a character. Nope. Except for the part where apparently sometimes the loader suit gets stuck on stairs. So what items are we really looking for? I mean, I would not be opposed to another crowbar or two, honestly. Because you... as you can see, it can be a great deal of fun to deliver that much damage in a single strike. Oh, I did that wrong. If you approach those while moving sideways, you can sort of curve the grappling hook momentum around stuff in a way that is often very useful. Here, we'll check this out in just a second. Let me have a look around. I also really miss when we play a character who has no vertical. Ooh, focus crystal's pretty good on loader. When we play a character who has no vertical mobility, I miss that an awful lot. Don't need to open that. Okay, I would love to find a scrapper if we could, because I want some focus crystals, but I don't necessarily want to. Don't necessarily want to just take a chance of losing my crowbar and or goat hoofs. Well, that's no good. The complete reduction in fall damage also affects damage from falling off the stage, which can sometimes be really nice as a way to shortcut around, and sometimes as a way of protecting you from the consequences of your own clumsiness. We're just going to check down here really quickly for a scrapper. Alright, attack speed is increased speed of gaining barrier, so it's pretty good as both an offensive and defensive stat. The Jade Elephant gives you a ton of armor when you use it. It's like a very brief, very large armor buff. I'm not a huge fan. Especially not over our current item, which kills people. Ooh, is the disposable missile launcher actually better than the lightning cannon? It might. I'm going to take it. It might be. Right, I want to make sure we get the right one. And then I guess let's get back over there. Because obviously we're doing pretty well on time right now. That's so satisfying. There's almost no words. Alright, let's go hit that teleporter, and then we'll maybe hunt around a little bit more afterward. I'm debating whether I think it's worth it to just throw stuff in the scanner, or in the printer rather. Ow. Just took a bunch of those pots to the face. I would really like to be above this enemy. I think we'd be a lot safer if we were above. Oh, I've maybe done this in a way that's not 100% conducive to the thing I wanted. Okay. There we go. Well, okay, now we just live inside the pot. This is fine. We can outpace the healing by just punching faster. And fire off the charge punch every time it comes off, and we will every time it comes off cooldown, and we will absolutely win this. There we go. Daisy's pretty whatever. Yeah, I could really use a scrapper, honestly. I do like the missile launcher. Not like how slow the pace of the incoming enemies is. I feel like I'm losing a lot of murder time here. That looked pretty weird. It didn't really look like it made contact. Oh, right, that's an elite. Okay. So there are definitely a couple of chests left. See, like this, if you are running sideways like that when you fire the grappling hook, you can curve yourself around things. It feels a lot like Pathfinder from Apex, which is a game I have not played any of since the new season started. You know, I think we might have gotten a lot of the loot already. I don't really see a lot of extra stuff. That was clumsy. Let's go back up where we started. Yeah, that's something. That's something right there. I really like that the enemies know how to use the jump pads. All this stuff is open already. Come here, you. Oh, surviving one hit now. That could have been a little smoother. We definitely left some stuff unopened up here. Yeah. So hopefully all of my complaints make sense now. Every time I whine that a character can't do something and it feels bad, it's because I'm comparing them to the what are you? Oh, one lunar item, right. I've seen those a few times, and I have never had a lunar item when I ran into one, so I don't know what they do. We'll find out. But like I was saying, every time I complain that a character can't do something, I'm comparing them to the loader in my head, and they are being found wanting. I think I'm not gonna just use 3D printers at random. I think we're gonna wait for a scrapper so that we can do this with a little bit of precision. Alright, our travel speed is still... it's lower than I would like. Also, I would like to have picked up some drones by now, ideally. Ooh, okay. Let's hit this real fast. I'm gonna burn this. What else are we doing? We're definitely going to drop the bucklers. Brass contraptions are a small enemy in the eyes of the game, and so they are pulled toward us. Yeah, let's throw in the bucklers, and then I might also do the plating. I'm not a huge fan of scrap plating. flat damage reduction, just like, you know, it gets worse and worse as the game goes on. Apparently I just did not get close enough to him. Oh no you don't. You're not going anywhere. Sweet, sweet grappling hook. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty fun class, is the thing about it. Oh, Fire Imp is bad. Fire Imp is a real potential danger. A Fire Elite can really ruin your day, especially if you don't realize that it's there until it's right on top of you, because your instincts are all gonna be, boy. I'm gonna take the Leech Seed. Your instincts are all going to be focused around murder a thing as fast as possible when it gets near you. And if you just stay on a Fire Elite and try to outbox him, you can lose. It's one of the few situations where a loader's in, like, real close range danger. That's an annoying thing to have done. I'm going to come over here and grab the Shrine of the Mountain that we saw, because I'm afraid I will forget about it if we don't do it right now. Ow. Clumsy. Okay. I'm fairly happy with a couple of air-to-ground missile launchers. Stop. Stop running away from me. Okay, these guys also a potential danger because you can eat a lot of damage off of their close-range fire breath attack. Yeah, that version of it. And of course, the Imp Overlord is dangerous for the same reason, because you can find yourself eating a full melee attack if you're not smart and you don't have any escape cooldowns available. But fortunately, unlike some of the other characters that we've seen where this is an issue, you actually do have escape cooldowns. There are things you can do. You just have to be smart about making sure at least one of them's available. Damn it. Alright, we're going to take the Combat Shrine, and maybe I'm going to regret that. Elder Lemurians are not great. One down. Like I was saying, you stop punching, you start being in danger, so I'm always nervous when I send myself all the way through them with a punch. But a combination of a Leech Seed and the natural Scrap Shield does make you feel pretty tough. It doesn't look like there's a lot of stuff to loot over here. It would be really nice if we could find a cool printer. Ah, that's embarrassing. You know what? Alright, Berserker Thing. Yeah, Berserker Thing's good. We will very often kill 3 enemies in a single punch, especially like during the boss fight time, so we will get to Berserk frequently. I don't know where the other mortar that's firing at us is. Oh, the chains aren't here. Yeah, you don't always get chains. Sometimes a man has to make his own chains out of a ridiculous grappling hook and a huge spiked metal gauntlet. Okay. Nothing of value up here. Worrying about fall damage is for suckers. Come here, you. Let's pull the thing while our drone is out. I am not a big fan of double Imp Overlord for reasons previously discussed. Oh, triple Imp Overlord. I'm less of a fan. You might even be able to do the math on that and figure out how much less of a fan I might be. The key is to use a combination of grappling hooks and charge punches to always be up in their business, but not in that zone right there. That's the bad zone. That's the business zone you do not want to be in. There we go. This game's easy. Who says this game's not easy? You know what I don't need is this. Ooh, okay. So the equipment drone will carry our equipment and use it on cooldown every single time it comes off cooldown, whether there's a good reason to do that or not. I think this is a pretty good piece of equipment for the drone. It will get things done. Please stop harassing my drone. Unfortunately, it can sometimes be hard to keep an equipment drone alive because it can't really defend itself, and it can't even get healed through the damage because I don't have a healing drone, which is a problem that we should try to correct. I really do dislike the imps. Okay, where else is there stuff we haven't bought yet? I mean, there must be some, right? We have not been all that thorough. There's a printer over there. Can't quite tell what it's printing yet. It's stickies. I'm gonna pass on stickies. They're fine. But I'm a little bit less of a fan of proc-based stuff on this character because we tend to hit most enemies a pretty small number of pretty powerful times. Is there anything else up here? There's a chance shrine up on the ledge behind us, so we could go for that. I'm not going to go all the way through the back tunnel. Are you? Nope, you are a rock. Rock is not drone. In my expert opinion, those two things are different. Alright, let's go pour a bunch of money into this thing and then get out of here. Oh. Okay. Pretty happy to see it. Also pretty happy to see that. Gosh. We really get moving quickly. Okay. Now I feel fairly confident that there are no more things left to find. Just run around going real fast, just because it's fun to run around going real fast while we wait for the teleporter to fire. Alright, here we are at the Sky Meadow, 27 minutes in. It's fast-ish. Faster than we have often done so far this series. There's the teleporter. That's a fun... Huh. I mean, should we just basically go through? I'm gonna, perhaps unwisely, fire this off. Alright, so we are grappling hooked to this guy right now, which makes it really easy for him to hit us with his projectiles. So, you know, kind of a double-edged sword there, strategically speaking. Oh dear. Oh, this went a little sideways. And I've flung us way into the sky and off the level. So this is why it's really important to have lack of fall damage. We fell into the underground. I don't actually want to do the thing that you do here in the underground. I'm going to see if I can get us back out of the underground. Yeah, there we go. Put me back in the world. Please stop. Come here. Let's just have a conversation about your behavior. Now, obviously, one thing that we are very much looking for at this point is a way of getting some equipment, because I would love to have some equipment for me. Although I guess, I don't actually know what happens when an equipment drone dies. Is that somewhere around here? There is an equipment drone, and he has my rocket launcher. And if we find him... Ooh. Okay, double incoming healing. I can see the use of that. Ow, that's a lot of fire on my face parts. The key is to punch them more times. Some people will tell you that not dying is all about not getting hit, but actually it's about hitting. That's the little secret I'm here to share with you all today. Okay, we're just gonna ride this dude. Many of the bosses have bodies that have collision, and you can just stand on them. This is a thing that you discover playing as the melee characters. So you can see we are really hauling ass on that scrap shield. Very difficult for enemies to kill us when we are able to attack this much, this quickly. I just took a full Lemurian Fire Blast directly to my face parts. And it's fine. Everybody agrees it's fine. Didn't even actually lower my health, I don't think. We got it all with the shield. So, the UI, it doesn't explicitly say this on the skill, but the UI strongly implies it. The maximum amount of scrap shield you can have is you're limited to your max HP. So, okay, that is not. I mean, that's an equipment drone. It might be our equipment drone. Come here, you. No, he's getting away. Alright. Now, this guy is a serious threat. Oh, he does not, he is not going to be drawn in. Yeah, I could very easily be killed by a flaming brass contraption. Alright, we're gonna run up on it. And try not to stay adjacent for very long, just hit it and go. I think once we clean up the brass contraption, probably it's just teleport time. I want to look around for more stuff, but we're spending an awful lot of time here, and I'm getting a little nervous. But also, I don't really want to fight a boss with this thing, like, lurking. Where's your health at? Okay, I mean, the job is getting done. Oof, although it looks like it's mostly been my drones, I'm guessing. A lot of enemies are not really interested in me. God, what good music. Okay. Now I'm feeling pretty confident. There's at least one chest right down there by the teleporter. We're just gonna hit this, though. Okay, kills reduce equipment cooldown. A lot better when you have equipment. Oops, I hooked the... Yeah, don't grappling hook the magma worm. It will just drag you with it into hell. I was trying to grab that brass contraption that was nearby. I would really, really, really love to reduce the number of mushroom dudes around here if we can. As you have seen before, mushroom guys are one of the biggest threats. Really, really easy to die from mushroom AoE very suddenly if you do not realize they are there. I don't want to be in front of this parent anymore. This is making me real nervous. Okay, it's almost dead. There we go. Damn it. Not only did I not hit the brass contraption, but the grappling hook did make contact with the roof behind it, so it did go on cooldown. Alright, just wait for our charge to come back, but we're almost through these magma worms. I think they're both quite low. Obviously, it can be tricky to punch a magma worm to death. They're pretty evasive. Also, they have a tendency to try to knock you off platforms. Okay, that's one down, I'm pretty sure. They make a particular noise when they die. You don't get to hear it all that often, so obviously it can be difficult to become sensitive to it. I don't want to just blow through the teleporter, obviously. I'd like to look around a little bit more. Just wanted to get the boss out of the way, especially before the difficulty upgrades again. Okay. So there's definitely chests and stuff up here. We saw something. There's definitely something grasped in the red claws up here. Aha, I think it was this that I was seeing. Give me a random green item. Sure, pauldron's good. I like a pauldron. Who doesn't like a pauldron? Although it will be pretty much useless in the final boss battle, which is a problem. Not a big fan of the fruit. Better. Better. That's an improvement for sure. Yeah, okay. Not awesome, but fine. Oh. Go back. Real fast is the thing. You can very easily get yourself going just so fast. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the guillotine. Guillotine feels like a very not exciting item. And like none of the stuff we're picking up here is going to help us against the final boss. I was kind of hoping for more things in that vein. I am still very not used to these wax quails. I feel like I haven't had this item unlocked for all that long. Oh, that looks like something. Okay, Leech Seed. Leech Seed will probably help us against the final boss. And also a Rose Buckler. Magma Worm, you shouldn't have. It's kind of a dick move, to be honest with you. Alright. We are in full-on ha-ha-ha mode, but it's early. It's early laughs. And also, we're real fast. I think we're probably going to not bother to fight most of the enemies in here, because we can outrange them really, really quickly with our mobility. Turns out I missed. Gosh, it's fun to be the loader. Aw, the wax quail thing got me a little bit there. These guys will probably aggro on us, but I'm just going to keep moving. I don't think there's a ton of value in fighting them. We don't need money on this this biome. And I don't think these guys give very much in the way of XP or money relative to the amount of time it takes to fight them. Alright, I don't know that we want to grab any lunar items, but let's check this side out. Alright, anything super compelling? I think that's... This thing makes you take no fall damage and gives you like a stomp attack from the air, which is fine. I would say is at best fine. And this is just another one of these things. They really like to give you these things here in the final area. Yeah, so we could go fuel cell for our Prion accumulator. I'll do it. Oh, these do... Huh, maybe these do prioritize scrap. Nope, they don't, because we still have 3 scrap in our inventory. But it took items that I'm fine with losing that time. God, the music. Look at that, you can tell I have played a little bit of loader. You can tell I've kind of got the feel of this grappling hook. Alright, so we have no support fire of any kind. All the DPS is going to come from our mitts. That, I would say, probably gives us a pretty poor chance. I would really like to have some drones or something that can, first of all, be distractions, and secondly, can keep working him when we're not ready to. So here's what we want to get. We want to get him committed to an attack, and then accumulate him. Get accumulated, nerd. Oh, God. Ow! What a thing to charge into. I'm just going to find a moment over here. Execute the turnaround. He always falls for it. Mithrix is he's not that bright. Yee. Okay. You can see though, I think our DPS is a lot better than it was last time. I mean, like, we haven't done that much damage, but we've also only hit him a couple of times. Now, obviously, you gotta be careful. At this range, it's very difficult to respond to his attacks when you're right up on top of him like that. You can very easily get hit by a thing. Ooh, I tried to go through, and I think we got stopped on him. Okay, well, that's fine. That was the practice run. This is the real one. This is the one where we get it. I believe the enthusiasm is probably coming through. I'm a big fan of basically every mechanic that this character has. I will say I think that the loader is more improved by the alternate skills than any of the other classes for whom I have the alternate skills, I think. Wow, that was clumsy. I really, really feel like it's worth it to get the alternate version of the charge, at the very least. But I don't know, maybe other people like the default charge more. Like I said, you can do more straight-up damage to a single target with it, and I actually think it is also better at taking out groups of large targets. My experience, though, is that it's very often the case that you're punching one large target near a bunch of... Okay, that's compelling. Hey, here's a question. Does my scrap shield count as being healed? It looks like the answer is no. Okay, so that might limit the usefulness of this, unfortunately. I guess I'm making an assumption here that I only count as healed when I am low, like when I'm below max health and my health rises. It might be the case that any effect that would heal you still triggers the skulls, even if you're at full already, which would obviously be pretty good. Sure would make this healing drone all right. I'm not worried. We will get the money together. I think the healing drone might be better than the gunner drone, given our skull situation. Again, depending on exactly how this mechanic works. Guy seems very confused. Let's go grab that healing drone real fast. I hit the tree. Ah, shoot. I already have forgotten where it was, because I am here at the height of my powers. It was around here somewhere, right? There it is. Alright, let's get down here and get ready for the thing. May as well pick up the fighting drone as well. Boy, you feel really sluggish when you come off of a run where you had movement stuff and you no longer have the movement stuff. It is possible that we will scrap our, what do you call it? our sticky bombs, because I don't actually think they're that good for us. It is a real shame when you have a boss and a bunch of little enemies and you can't find an angle to perform the punch such that it will hit the boss first. So a lot of the time it makes sense to grappling hook. Like, step back and grappling hook a point that is high on the boss so that the grappling hook pushes you upward, and then execute your charge at sort of a diagonal down angle. Alright, well, if stuff is going to be this slow. Is that Scrapper? Yes, it is in here. I can use it right now. I'm going to go ahead and put the stickies in there right now. I think we'll probably save everything else. Even though this red item might not be, like, the most ideal red item. Putting a red item in a Scrapper feels pretty bad. Especially since if you find a red printer somewhere, you probably will only have, like, one thing to put in it anyway. Something rode the air draft up, and I guess it just lives up there now. Well, this is handy. That's not so good, I think. For the most part, by the time we're hitting things, we're already killing them. And then being slowed after the fact, it feels not that relevant. We'll take this. So that's a printer for gasoline, which is fine, but I don't know that I, don't know that I actually want to use that. Printer for monster tooth necklace. Again, basically fine. Let's just throw some stuff in here and then get a move on. Okay, I also want to burn you. Okay, I would not be opposed to trying to force the Prion accumulator, but I do think that moving on at 6:15 is maybe a little bit slow for that. I don't know, I guess we'll see. We'll see what things look like. So I guess our healing drone just doesn't heal us if we're not actually injured. So we are never going to get to see if we would produce skulls. That doesn't look that easy to get to. There we go. Well, it would be very difficult to ignore that. They clearly have plans for us. He's on top of me. I was trying to jump over him to get behind him to avoid the thing, and I couldn't because he climbed on top of me before launching the attack. And, you know, it's a cunning strategy. You gotta give him credit. We are certainly just going to go ahead and hit this. Try to throw the punches against multiple bosses in such a way that they arc through one boss into the other. Oh, that was a little clumsy. I did not... You don't want to punch up into the boss's center of mass. You want to do it like that, where you're clipping through the side of the boss while going upwards, so that you can get above and then hover around a bit with the magic of the aerial punch pop-up. Okay. Easy enough. Boy, there sure are a lot of elites over here. Okay, pair of infusions, I'll take that. Also, one of those weird buttons spawned right next to the teleporter this time. Like everything else, we will figure it out eventually. So we could just press right through, and if we get the right biome, potentially have the chance to pull the Prion accumulator. I'm debating whether I want to do that and just take all of this XP, or all of this gold just as XP. Guess let's grab this and... We'd really have to be right on top of it, but sometimes that happens. And I do love an accumulator. Alright, so there's a handful of places that I know that it can spawn. We will quickly check them. Okay, it's not there. Sometimes there's a little crate on the ground over here. Alright, then my guess would be up there, and I think we're probably not going to be able to get there in time. Oh, never mind, I totally did. Thanks to the magic of the loader. I really, really enjoy being the loader. Get him. Alright, let's go check out that lunar pod. Nope, this is no good. Ooh, Shrine of Order. I think I want to pass on that. I don't think we're in a position. Show me something cool. It's Strides of Heresy. Places your utility skill with Shadow Fade. Oh no! My utility skill is like pretty important to me, actually. Okay, so this doesn't do any damage at all. It just... Yo, that sucks. Okay. So, we're super nerfed by the presence of this item. Maybe... Ooh. Can you scrap lunars? Let's hope you can scrap lunars. I do not want a primordial cube. Damn it. Well, okay, it does... Oh, it heals us, so it is firing skulls at people. Okay, so it's not like 100% terrible, but it's pretty bad. Yeah, geez, I'm feeling it already. That might have ended our run. It's just like, what if you were playing Commando and you picked up an item that made you not have guns anymore? We are going to have to find a way to get rid of this thing. Let me have a look around here. If we can find one of those weird little pools that asks for a lunar item, we can maybe solve this that way. There we go. So it looks like it does just let me fly, though, which is pretty cool. I'm trying to think, how common are those exactly? My impression is not that common. Focus crystal seems like a no-brainer. Yeah, geez, every one of these situations is a thing where ordinarily I would be dash punching right now. Okay, so we learned an important lesson today. I feel so nerfed. I can't even kind of fight this large group of enemies. Alright, well I am not really doing a very good job of looking around. Okay, so it seems like you just go forward at exactly the speed you were traveling at when you pressed the button. So you can just fly arbitrarily. That's... I do not much care for radar scanner in this moment here. I guess let's go check up in the tunnel. Maybe there will maybe there will be a lunar item accepting thing. I'm not sure if you can put lunar items into grinders. If you can, that might solve the problem for us right there. Was there... Huh. Did it not tell us that there was a thing over there? Well, it certainly told us there was a bunch of stuff up here. Boy, it's not even worth fighting big enemies anymore. The amount of time it takes to kill them. Yeah, this hurts. A lack of dash punch feels bad, man. Alright, fingers crossed. There should be another interactable or two over here. According to the scanner, although it looks like maybe I have already misread it. I guess let's go hit the button. Like, I think the number one thing for us is progressing until we find one of those things that lets you eat lunar items. Alright, Magma Worm. Let's hope we can get a good Prion accumulator shot here. So I want to try to catch it right as it's coming out. I did not really get it. The hope is, like, you fire it right as the thing comes out, and then you catch the back end of it as it's going back in, because you have just about enough time for that. But it really did not work there. Yeah, this is... I'm gonna die, actually. Having lost one of the 3 abilities that generates shield is also a problem. Like, this is an offensive problem and a defensive problem. Although I guess we do have the option of doing this thing and firing skulls at people, which is... I mean, they seem to be pretty good skulls. Take this, everyone! I'd be kind of excited about this, this combo of items on some characters. Well, it seems like I can't take damage while I'm in Shadow Ball. So that's neat. And it's like a pretty powerful safety button. Alright, well... We did get there eventually, and we got the Molten Penetrator, which I'm a big fan of. This is a great item. I think we're just gonna move right along here. I can still kind of go fast, sort of. So hopefully, for those of you who, when I said on earlier runs that, like, oh, things are going well, let's not take a lunar item, because what if it screws everything up? Hopefully, if you thought I was being melodramatic, now, now you see. That's not even open. We are going to be much less effective against the large groups of dangerous enemies that start occurring at this point. Oof, it's a fire breast contraption and an Elder Lemurian down there. Bad times, man. Scrapper, scrapper. Boy. You come down here and fight me. Nope. Cannot, in fact, scrap the thing. You know what? These guys are getting accumulated. I was hoping it would do some damage to the big wisps as well. Punching. Always punching. Okay, losing control of things a little bit here. Oh god. Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's very grim. Punching, punching. The imp is kind of keeping us safe from the terrifying contraptions. Why would I grapple on the fire contraption? That's the number one thing I should not do. It's a shame it doesn't last longer, because the thing where we get to fly around invincibly shooting skulls at people is okay. But it only works for like a couple of seconds. Alright, I think we are probably going to survive this pack at least. Boy. I decided, you know what, against my better judgment, I'm going to pull the fire guy in, and then I just shot my grappling hook at the pylon. I mean, we gotta kill it, right? We are going to lose if we do not kill it. Okay, whew. I'm trying to turn around. I'm turning around as hard as I can. The good news here is that if we ever figure out a way to get rid of this damn thing, it's going to be like Goku taking off the weighted clothes. Like, all of a sudden, we are going to be insanely powerful. Are you kidding me? Oh, cool. Well, crud. It's not really what you want from your grappling hook. Like I said earlier, I think not so good at pulling you to places. Pretty good as a swing. Unfortunately, sometimes you really need to be pulled to a place. Let's go up here. Whew, okay, that'll get us what we need to open this, and hopefully it'll be something really amazing. It's not horrible. We're just really looking for one of those things that eats lunar items. This would be such a good opportunity to learn exactly what that does. Alright, why don't we check upstairs? Does feel like we are accumulating some followers. Lunar thing, give me something to save the run. It's a second one of those. Well, I mean, at this point, it doesn't seem to. Okay, it buffed the duration, I think. Yeah, that's helpful. It really does not work as an offensive skill. Alright, we're just gonna keep looking then. Oh god, elite mortar enemies. And given the knockback and everything, these guys actually aren't that easy to kill if you don't have the charge punch. Looking for one of those little discs. Wow. I guess I don't know that I've ever been less excited to see 3 green items. That's nowhere near being grappleable. It's alright, we're not totally doomed yet. I'm holding out hope. Sure doesn't look like we're gonna find one on this level. That's fine. We can totally fight a boss in this state. Imps are tough. Honestly, some of the bosses will be easier than normal imps. I mean, look, I'm glad that I learned what this item does. It is going to probably be useful information for other characters on other runs. And it is very frequently the case that the price you pay for information that will help you on an unbounded number of future runs is the loss of the run you're currently on. It does happen. God, there's so many elite mortar enemies. Well, we kind of can't kill them, so we're just going to have to deal with there being a lot of them. I mean, we are still definitely getting damage down on this guy. Yeah, see, some parts of our deal are working just fine. It's just enemies that we need to burst down. We are way less good at fighting. And unfortunately, as we move up to the next tier, that's just going to be a larger number of enemies. Boy. We're going to have a harder time triggering the Berserker's Pauldron, so I'm not going to pick it up. Ow, I do not think these guys work as cover against each other, unfortunately. Okay. We are not dead yet. I'm not saying it's not coming. I'm just saying it hasn't happened yet. Alright, how thorough do I think we have been here? I guess I feel pretty thorough, and there's a chance shrine over there. We should absolutely hit that, and then maybe we just go. The number one most valuable thing we could get at this point is an environment to run around in and discover a way to lose this lunar item. So I guess that's still got to be our lodestar here. Whee! Go fast. Take your mind off your troubles. Take your mind off your horrible lunar troubles. I'll tell you this. This is a very effective way to learn a thing, in the sense that, like, I'm pretty forgetful, and there's a lot of items in the game, and I definitely just... After we narrowly dodged that one set of rocks, I was so proud of myself. I was like, we're not going to get caught by anything this time. I'm pretty forgetful. I forget stuff a lot. You've all seen and heard it happen on many, many, many occasions. I am confident that I will never forget what this particular item does. It's trying so hard to grab the dude. Do we want to burn anything in this scrapper? We still have a bunch of scrap in our inventory. We haven't really found a printer that I find very exciting yet. You know what? Gonna employ the old accumulator. It sucks to have missed that guy. Oh, this is a nightmare. Let's just get the hell out of there. I mean, we're not going to be able to fight. We're not going to be able to fight a boss like this. Not here. Not one of these bosses. We're certainly not going to be able to fight Mithrix this way. I think our best possible hope might be going for the other ending. I hate to do that on a run where we're playing Loader, because I feel like these are the ones where I have the best chance of defeating Mithrix, but this run has gone real hard sideways. So we're going to realign the teleporter, and this is what you have to do to reach the other game end condition. And we'll see if it works out. I do not like all of the enemies being huge and airborne when we've lost our best anti-air attack. Ow. Okay, you I can fight at least. And then I became invincible. Ha, how do you like it? Yeah, good. Drag the fire guy down here. That's gonna be real healthy. Okay, this is not the grapple I was going for. There we go. That'll work though. Just need to keep turning fast enough to swing at him. Okay, this is bad. Try to get above the boss before our thing ends here. Now, I was up there for a minute. So I think if we could get on top of this guy, it'd make our lives a lot easier. Alright, we're gonna just become incorporeal for a second. And then we're gonna accumulate them. And see what happened to the accumulator shot. My suspicion is it hit some terrain and didn't do anything. Okay, he's turning us very erratically in a way that I can't follow. Alright, we're just gonna become incorporeal again. Honestly, it is kind of working. Ooh, ooh, okay. A lot of bright lights, a lot of stuff happening here. Okay, one more threat down. When you are stuck to an enemy, you can sometimes get into some real trouble. You know what? I'm just gonna release that. The good news is that when you get these groups of enemies as a boss, they are all technically elites, so the ordinarily very, very bad guillotine does at least work on them. Okay, so when we go through the teleporter here in a second, and it looks like we actually are going to get to, which is blowing my mind, it's going to take us back to the first biome, and obviously it's going to be pretty leveled up at this point, 33 minutes in. I'm going to look around a little bit more. We might be able to, yeah. Might be able to find some things to help. What are you? You are the kill for shield brooch. I don't necessarily think I want to spend my scrap on that. Curious about this, though. You know, I don't like the magazine much in general. It might be okay right now. We're in a pretty weird circumstance, and I might actually need it as a damage-dealing tool. Alright, let's go get to that chance shrine. I think I'm gonna make it. Yeah. This is actually not going as poorly as I thought it was going to when we first realized what we had taken. Like, it's bad for sure, but it's still maybe possible for us to reach some kind of ending. Come on. Oh, I guess the mushrooms do have an interesting bit of synergy with our skull thing, and it turns out that yes, in fact, you do still produce skulls even when you are already at full health. So anytime we can stand still, we get a constant supply of skulls. They're not very high damage, and they don't come out all that frequently. But it's something. It is a way to fight flying enemies, which is a thing we are suddenly feeling a little short on. Alright, so in order to reach the other game end condition, also, love that that just got absorbed by our teddy bear. In order to reach the other game end condition, we are going to have to reach the third biome post-loop. And you can continue to loop for as long as you want. If we just kept playing and kept getting to the Sky Meadow and kept realigning the teleporter, they will let you go until you feel like you are done. That was probably overkill. I mean, it's fine. Listen, 130 seconds isn't that long. But we are definitely just trying to get through this and get done. I'm going to go ahead and pull the boss now. Put the pylon up in the air and let it deal with some of our problems. We're just going to grappling hook ourselves around the boss to make ourselves really hard to hit. So, when you are going through the game, when you are past the first loop, a couple of things change. First of all, you will get much more challenging boss encounters like this, where there are just there are more bosses for no reason, more frequently, or the bosses will start to have elite-style traits. You know, you'll get an electric boss or something. Of course. Lots of enemies, more difficult enemies appearing in earlier biomes, and there are some types of enemies that do not appear on the first time through the levels. There are some things you will not see until you are looping. In addition, there's one type of elite that I believe only appears on the after the first go around here, so we may see some of those guys. You'll know them because they're very black and green. They have a lot of black and green effects on them. Right, as soon as this teleport is charged, we're going to go down into the valley here and spend some of this cash. Gosh, we're still quite slow for a character that's as developed as we are. I don't really want to fight the greater wisps. Seems like a terrible waste of my time. Be careful to just pulse the thing there. Red item exchange. I don't even know what that is. But I kind of think our red item is part of the centerpiece of our offense at this point. So I'm not going to mess with it. Weirdly enough, it became really important to us. This is one of the magical things about roguelites, though, right? If you offer the players control, they will generally like that. They will like the ability to make their runs more consistent. But there's something to be said for things being out of the player's control, for them just, like, ending up in a situation they would never have chosen to be in. Do we want to go up there, or do we want to just leave? Honestly, it looks like there's just an equipment thing up there. We'll take this, and then we'll get out, I guess. So I can't turn it off. I don't have the option of just pressing the button again and going back to normal form. Yeah, wow, the will-o-wisp damage is extreme. Don't usually get to stand on the greater wisps. I feel like it's pretty rare that you get in with that level of precision. Alright, well that'll be enough money to open a couple of things. Let's find a couple of things to open. And at this point, you know what? let's just go fast. Part of the reason that I think we might be able to pull this off is that this version of ending the game does not require the defeat of a boss, a final boss type character. So we don't really need to be strengthening toward some kind of final confrontation. We just need to feel strong enough to live through normal battles. Although, honestly, as we keep going here, I'm wondering more and more if maybe I'm underestimating us a little bit. I mean, we are actually doing okay damage here. You know what? Mithrix is tough to beat at the best of times. Tough enough that I've never done it. No, I'm probably not overestimating him or underestimating us. It is wise to take the other exit. What is this? Printing stun grenade? No thanks. Let's fire off some fireworks real quick. It's like the 4th of July in here. You know what? Attack speed. We are now a mouse 1 attack character, so attack speed seems really good. It's always pretty good for the loader, but I think we are a level beyond that even. It's a very Stone Titan heavy kind of day. Okay, we've already killed 2 of them. Yeah, I'm punching fairly hard here. I'm not saying that we definitely couldn't make it. Boy, I'm wondering now. I'm wondering if maybe we should try to go to the final boss like this. It feels silly, but also like a total wrecking ball here. See, that makes me nervous though. The actual just stand and punch a guy DPS is bad, and I think we're getting a lot of value out of chaining on killed stuff, which obviously is not a strategy that will work against the boss. Especially if we can get a high health enemy to die, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there is scaling on the will-o'-the-wisp explosion based on the enemy health. Now that I'm saying it, I don't feel confident about it at all, which is you can probably hear that in the question mark that I that I spoke on the end of that sentence. Alright, crits, I guess? Oh, I think that's... Yep, we got one of those elites you can only see on the, past the first run-through. So I don't know exactly what these guys' deal is. Obviously, they spawn garbage on the ground. Don't stand in the goop. If I've learned anything from my many years of playing MMOs, it's that you do not, in fact, want to stand in the weird-looking goop. Sort of the only skill you need to succeed at raiding is don't stand in the weird-looking goop. And then every once in a while they throw you a curveball, and they put in some weird-looking goop that is beneficial. It just throws the whole raid group into disarray. Alright. I suppose another good reason to just try to take the other ending is that looping back around to the boss at this point would make this episode 2 hours long at least. So let's just find the teleporter, get to the other side, and... I mean, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. It's not like that's going to be entirely trivial. Oops, that's no good. Ow. I am not even sure what's happening there. Something's firing airstrikes at us. Maybe there's a version of the mortar enemy that can appear on other stages past the first loop. Alright, a celestial orb appears, you'll note in the chat. That's good. That's the... We are going to need the celestial portal that celestial orb creates. Okay, I mean, that was some damage. We did some damage there. The accumulator did some fine work. I feel reasonably powerful, is what I would like to say at this moment. So this thing here, this crab that's made out of a pile of rocks, this is an enemy that you do not see the first time through the game. I have no idea what it does, but it really creeps me out. I can't really even explain why. There's just something about it. It's very upsetting. It is real tough. I don't like how tough it is. That seems like we should not stand in it. Yeah, I don't know. We feel... Our build feels like it's doing okay damage. And as the loader always says, the only way you could die is if you stop punching me. Wait, where's the portal? There it is. Okay, I was gonna say, there's definitely supposed to be a celestial portal around here somewhere. Alright. I'm done with all your nonsense. Get out of my way. Well, it's not exactly the thing we would have chosen, but I do believe, ladies and gentlemen, that we are about to see a thing. We found our way to a moment. Fractured. I do not exactly know what the story implications of this area are. Just see there's some more islands off in the distance. I do not think that there is any way we could reach that, but there is a string of stuff down here. That was a little startling. I forgot that there were going to be more rocks. Okay, good start. Can I save myself? Yes. Yes, I can. Okay. I thought we were just gonna have to make the jump, and I was all prepared to try. So that right there is where we're going. Oof. Got a little bit of speed up on that one. Honestly, we could probably just make it all the way over, but let's do this the safe way. Yeah, I'm real curious what exactly it is that's going on here, what kind of moment we've found our way into. There's newt altars all around this thing. And if you walk up to it, you have the option, of course, to obliterate yourself from existence, because what else would it do? Obviously. There's a portal down there if you want to change your mind and go back to the run. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure. We are going to get rid of this blue thing one way or another if I have to obliterate it and myself from existence. Our fate was unknown. I'm counting that as half a victory. We have officially achieved half a victory. You have to do that once to unlock the mercenary. So obviously I had done it before. Could we have taken on the final boss? I don't think so. I think a lot of our damage was from enemies exploding from the will-o'-the-wisps and stuff. So I think we were getting chain kill damage. Yeah, I don't think so. Although it's going to torture me forever. I guess I'll never know now. But that is definitely beyond all we have time for today. Thank you all so much for watching. There is one more character that we currently have unlocked. So when you come back next time, tomorrow, I'll be introducing you to... Boy, he's a little bit of a mess. I don't know if he's any good, but he is kind of fun to play. And we'll see you then.